There's this one rich man, I think in France or Italy, who has basically done estate planning for his dog. So his dog gets a caretaker with food and the house. That was when I realized that estate planning don't have to be person to person.
But before we get into that, right, I'm actually quite curious. How does one begin to write a will? Do I just open up a Microsoft Word document and then I just start typing like what I want to do with my assets? How do I go about doing that? Or do I have to find you first, then I start writing my will? How does it work?
You can write it by yourself, nothing wrong with it, but just make sure that all the legalities are correct. Of course, not everyone is legally trained to be doing that. Singapore has a lot of will writing platforms as well. There are will writers. There are even financial people who write wills. There's lawyers who can do it across for you. There's online platform as well. I can't give a broad brush approach to say how to do it because it is so customized. Every family situation is a little bit different. Like in my situation right now, I have some will writers to support me. There's some platforms available as well. But my focus is not about just creating a will. My focus is on that whole extended plan when we are no longer around. Using a very simple example, let's say today you donate to a charity every month. Maybe in future when you're no longer around, you can still donate to this charity every month. And instead of donating from your money, maybe some of those money can be invested. The coupons or the dividends are donated to this charity forever, even when you are no longer around already. So all these are huge plans that you can create beyond your lifetime.
I see. Okay, so I can do it on my own, but only if I understand what I'm writing. But generally, I would assume that people wouldn't have that legal knowledge anyway. So if I were to want to start writing my own will, I probably have to go look for, like what you said, an online platform or will writer to help me do it or you
Yeah, it's not impossible. Just like investment, everyone can run their own investments.
Okay.
But would they achieve an investment goal that they want? May not be. Yeah, I recently heard about people burning a lot of their money in some form of derivative products or even in some form of cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so it can be done by yourself, but the result cannot be guaranteed.
I see. Okay.
I think wills are a very, what's it called? Like there's a media stereotype. Because sometimes when you go and watch those really like award-winning dramas, right? Like 大儿子 will write one will, then 小儿子 will go and write another will. Then like just before Amma die, he will go and sneak up, then go and like sayang the Amma, go sign. So if I were to write my own will, let's say I get it down, how does anyone know which one is the most legit will? You get what I'm trying to say? Because as you can say, you have your own planning stats, then as long as you get it right, it should serve its purpose, correct? Do I still have to or get it chopped, signed, judge, approve or what?
Okay, so there are some platforms online to support this as well. The Singapore Law Academy has a registry to record where is the latest will based on date. Singapore government has also another website called My Legacy for you to record when was the latest will that you wrote based on date and done by which law firm and who's your executor.
So it's all public information?
I wouldn't say it's public, but there's a registry to record all this information. And then you can also appoint who can have access to such information.
I see. Okay. One more question about wills before we go on to the next part. What is the most interesting will you have ever seen? Okay, I don't need to know all the details, but like maybe something that another person decide to pass on to another person that is like very interesting or very, not just a car or house, like something very out of the blue. Any experience with that before?
Okay, the most interesting will, I don't know whether this can be showcased. I actually started to write wills for same-gender families and same-gender marriages. And those are a situation whereby it's really special because they don't have a legal relationship with each other.
Right.
And yet some of them may have surrogate children who's their biological children. So that in that case we examined quite a few scenarios, and I thought I was really happy getting it done. While every one of us have different inclination of how to form a family, but in that situation, I saw great love that they have for each other and also for their surrogate child.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
The first time I learned about estate planning was the strangest thing. There's this one rich man, I think in France or Italy, who has basically done estate planning for his dog. So his dog gets a caretaker with food and the house. And that was when I realized that okay lah, yeah, cool. Estate planning don't have to be person to person. Because sometimes, right, you can go and find those like, let's say amas, right? Then they have like 1 or 2 child. Then they from young already, 这个不孝子, I don't want to give you anything when I die. And they hold that same sentiment to the end. And then you realize that, I don't know, I just feel that if you don't plan or you don't want to give to anybody, it just feels it a bit strange. But you can, plan like if you have your favorite dog and your dog outlives you for whatever reason, then yeah, that's also a thing that you can plan about lah. So it's good to consider it. Because it's not what the TV tells you that or you have to give it to your first son or second son or whatever. It's really up to you to plan. And I think it's rather important to explore it with advisors to go and figure out what are the options. Can I give it to, I don't know, some random person on the street? Because I think it'd be quite interesting if, let's say, like I have a lot of money, right? But I want to do like donations, but I don't want to like donate to a certain foundation. Technically, can I put in my estate planning? Let's say I just want to hire a person who's going to stand at where I used to live, and every time somebody who passes by that looks like they need food, I just donate money. Is there a thing that I can just plan out? Like I want to do charity, but it's my charity 这样啦, but it's like a bit like a flyer 的感觉.
You can definitely write all these things, but the only requirement is that you need an executor.
Okay.
Someone to execute that instructions. And that person, you must be able to find out. You cannot find, I cannot write.
Okay.
So you must find Xuan to do that across for you. Every day stand there
Willing
and give out the money.
Can I buy you and the rest of your sons for the next 5 generations to help me donate to free people? They say yes, okay, can.
No, wait, but the
Exactly,
person has to
yeah.
agree, right? Or can you write that person has to do it, but the person doesn't agree?
That's not how you have to agree.
It depends, because
Yeah.
someone can recuse themselves out of that position. Right?
Yeah, they always reserve the right to then
Get out of it.
correct.
Ah,
But
okay, okay.
So what happens when, let's say, have you ever had a situation where the estate planner has, okay, I want to give all these things to whoever and so, and like people reject, they just don't want to take it.
I have a real situation right now. Okay, very sensitive case, but I try to simplify as much as I can. It was a grandfather with 2 wives, so having 2 grandmothers. So the grandfather's intention is that I will pass the asset across to all my children of these 2 wives that I have. However, the grandfather has passed away. The senior grandmother has also passed away. Now leaving only the second grandmother around. And she actually rewrote her will such as it's only passing to her own children. But her own children now is protesting to say that grandfather used to want to pass to all of us, even though we are from 2 different marriages. In this case, the beneficiary is actually protesting and say that they may not want to receive it or they want to split it equally amongst all of them. And this case is still running.
Can't they just receive it then
自己
afterwards?
split.
Yeah, like split it on their own afterwards.
They haven't come back to me yet. So
Oh.
see.
I mean,
if they come back to me, I will tell them
about
that.
it, that's one way to do it. But
Yeah,
I think,
I feel like the solution is kind of clear to me. Like,
no,
if you feel
but you're protesting the principle, not the fact that whether the money is there. I think a lot of the times the money that you get from like the person who has passed is not really that important. It's like the sentimental value of like, because when my grandmother passed, she gave like every kid a different thing. The funniest thing she gives me is that she gave me every grandchildren get like a little like gold pendant thing. Right, they're based on their 生肖. And I'm 属鸡 one, so we all expected me, because I'm the youngest in the family, to get the smallest one. No, I got a biggest one. And then my hand, like the heirloom thing that hand out also has a little note. It'd be like, hey, I need to give you the most. Why? Because you're the youngest, means you're gonna live the longest, so you're gonna need more of my money to survive. It's cute lah, because at the end of the day, we're never gonna sell that thing, right? That thing is just gonna be sentimental value. But it's funny because in her last moment, she's still willing to joke about the fact that I need to sayang my youngest grandchild. And I think that was one of the things that made me realize that planning doesn't need to be like that serious or that grim, It can be your last willing testament of my personality. If I'm a clown my entire life, my estate planning can also be clowny. And it can help people help remind your friends and family of who you are so that your legacy continues living on.
It's so good that you shared this real case example, because your grandma did her estate plan.
Yeah.
Whether she wrote a will or not, but she had that process that she went through mentally and also packaging all the gold pieces. So wonderful thing. So that is a real example of the very grounded estate planning.